we're going to be doing and a couple of tips. And then we'll go out in the water and I'll be in a motorboat kind of going around and organizing you guys a little bit. All right, so the key things we're going to work on today are all focused really on two things. First of all, not stopping your boat through tacks, jives, etc., and then getting your boat going when you are stopped. Okay? They're related, but those are the two concepts and the two places we have, a lot of problems. They're probably the two most important things for boat animals. So, we'll first talk about tacking. What we're going to do as the first drill when we get out there, there'll be a windward mark set up, and we're going to go from the pin of the starting line to the windward mark. It's going to be a very short windward mark. I want you to go around that course. You have to do 5 tacks on the beach. So one tack, you could just sail, one tack against the windward mark, but you got to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So 5 tacks every time. That way I'll be able to watch what you're doing. On those 5 tacks, you're going to have some tacks when you're going to have a lot of boats around you and you're going to have to tack quickly twice in a row. That's good. Practice that. I'll be watching. I'll be giving you tips. The number one thing about tacking that I think most people here do is you don't start really moving when you're tacking until the sail comes over. I see people going, okay, I'm going to tack now, and you either move your leg, you go to push the tiller over, and you also move your body. Like if you're hiked out, you go into the seat, and you push the tiller to leeward, and that like starts with the leeward heel, and the boat starts to slow down. You get bound up. You push the tiller too far, like some people's tillers. If your tiller goes outside, if it's so high that it can go over the side of your boat, you're pushing the tiller too far. So if you just keep sailing and just move the tiller a little bit, you're sailing as fast as you can, the boat will start turning as fast as it can without slowing down as much. When you get head to wind, the sail starts to come at you. What I think about is my feet are behind the seat at all times, right? And I bring my feet over with the sail. So as the sail comes over, my feet come over. And now the sail comes over, it's on top of my head. My whole body is now under the sail on the leeward side of the boat. And the boat's kind of gonna tip over now, right? Because I'm sitting on the leeward side, the sail's on that side, and then I use my feet, which I've just put underneath me, to push up to the other side. And if it's very windy, I push hard and I get out to the other side really fast. And if it's light, I might just push a little bit, just enough to press down back to flat. Okay? But really, it's one motion. It's not free roll hard, flatten. It's just push the tiller over, turn my body, and push up the other side. If you want to watch, I'll do a couple right here of those roll tacks like that. But think about it more of one motion, one pivot of your body, and then a push to the other side. Then multiple motions. And the more you steer before, the more you can think about going fast until you're head to wind, the better off you're going to be. So I always think about the first half of your tack is getting towards the mark, right? So what I'm trying to do now is just shoot the mark. And then the second half of your tack, it's okay, now I've got to get on that new tack and go straight. So think about it. Try to be patient in that first half. The second thing we're going to work on is really getting around. It's the same thing is true as getting around the windward mark or getting started off the starting line, which is how do you get going from a dead stop, or how do you bear off when you want to bear off at the windward mark. Okay? The key to both those things is that the boat needs to be flat and your weight needs to be back. Okay? So what you're trying to do is keep your bow out of the water, and you want to keep the bow out of the water, and you want to keep your weight to windward. The bow out of the water allows the boat to turn and to pivot away from the wind, and your weight to windward will let the natural shape of the boat turn down to leeward. Okay? So at the windward mark, what you should be thinking about is out and back, out and back. Imagine there's a deer in the back corner of your boat. Go reach for it at the windward mark. Reach for that back corner. So instead of leaning into the windward mark, a lot of people, you get to the windward mark and you're like, I gotta let my sail out, I gotta loosen up stuff. Everybody leans forward and kind of leans into the mark. You want to lean away from it. So think about it. Getting to the part, I want to hike even harder than I normally do. I want to get my weight further back than it normally is, and I want to think about, I'm trying to get my bow out of the water and pivot the boat on its stern, right on the rudder. That way you don't need to use as much rudder, and you won't bury the bow. And especially on a day like today, where that first puff might, everybody's had that experience of going around the windward mark, the bow goes down and you either round up or you go into a dive. Like, you want to keep that bow out of the water. So back and out, back and out. So really concentrate on it. We're going to do the tack, lots of tack, get to the windward mark, back and out, back and out. Okay? If we, we'll have some other times, I'll get out there and I'm basically going to ask everybody to do stop and go drills as well. I'll probably do that individually with you, but just say, you know, stop and then go, and it'll be like whistle, whistle. And so practice going head to wind, stopping the boat, trying to stay in one place, and then on an arbitrary time, when I say go, you have to, okay, now I've from a dead stop, how do I get the boat going again?
When you're at the line ready to go, where are your feet?
Behind the seat. And the same thing, if you're stopped and you're trying to go, right, you're trying, just like at the windward mark, you're trying to get your bow down, so you got to sit back and out, back and out. So if you're at the starting line and you're dead stop, and the gun goes off, you want to hike out and get your weight back, so the bow will go down and you can get going forward, okay? If you don't do that, you end up just pinched, you'll never get going fast, and you'll never get your bow down, and you'll end up, especially on a windier day, never getting going quickly. Back and out, back and out. All right, I'll do a couple of tacks here, and then I'll meet you guys out there. So as I come into a tack, the rudder moves, my body doesn't move. My feet move first, and then my feet push up like that.
Also get John to narrate, you know, do a voiceover later, and that might be one way to overcome the breeze noise. interesting. A couple of weeks ago, Peter Hess and I were looking at the videos and that I'd taken earlier this season, and I noticed how much faster Beery and Fallon got away from the upwind mark. And there wasn't anything I could see in their technique.
Yeah.
It was just they would just take off, and they would build boat lengths within the first 10 boat lengths. They'd have 2 extra or 3 extra boat lengths in that time. So this technique is really interesting. So I'm going to move back there a little bit. So Peter's coming in. And moving back instead of pushing forward right away. Here's Rory. Rory's quite astern. There.
Peter, 360. Try to stay ahead of the big boat behind you. Go. Big height, Peter. Big height. Turn. Kevin, your tacks are good, but after the tack, you're not hiking hard enough.
Okay.
So like after the flatten, make sure you get the back, get the windward rail all the way down,
Okay.
because you're not getting that full acceleration afterwards. Yeah, big height, big height, big height, big height. Kevin Mark, spin. Stay ahead of Tom. Go. Go. Spin. Big hike. Big hike. Ease. Big hike. Big hike. Big ease. Big ease. Big ease. Big ease. Big ease. Go. Back now. Go.
See, Kevin's position in the boat going around the mark is aft. So that's part of the drill. wind astern. That way you can keep the bow upwind and we don't have to breathe the fumes of that. Edges aft as he eases at the mark. See how Bill Klein does. So the temptation to move forward should be resisted, at least right at the mark. wind is cold in your hands, huh?
Go! Bow down, everybody. Hike, hike, hike. Bow down. Okay, bring it back to the circle. Bring it back to the circle.
Try to keep the nose into the wind. How's that? And just hold the boat in one place, and that way, that's beautiful.
Big hike, big hike. Try to hike, try to practice hiking out and letting the sail out at the same time. That's actually the trick.
Yeah, that's good. The boat's steadier too. Oh! JP and Kevin.
Okay, Lori, do a practice quick tack and get around the mark. Hike and ease, hike and ease, hike and ease, hike and ease. There you go. Nice.
So hike and ease. So ease and flatten it down. Stephen Schwartz has got nice, he's got good boat speed in 72. Tommy's fast. Yeah. mark. Can't keep that nose into the wind, huh? So I will, I'd better go down and help him at the start so I can go to the float and then I'll jump off.